You can't actually say that. I won't do this review if you say you want him to die.
I'm just saying, it's time for Baby Yoda to die.
Well, he's not gonna die.
You saw him with the sniper thing.
He's not gonna die.
All it takes is one guy to show up with a sniper thing and shoot him from afar.
There would be such an uproar.
I know, that'd be great.
No.
People would cry.
No.
There'd be tears. Be R.I.P. Baby Yoda, and there'd be cute little angel Yodas flying above.
It doesn't work that way.
I'm just saying, I'm tired of watching him babysit.
He's not babysitting. He's
Every episode he has to worry about this child when I just want to see him go kill things.
He did. He left it with a babysitter.
Yeah, his choice of babysitters. I mean, shit, you found my kid. Well, I'm heading out. He didn't even say anything to her. Just like, I guess she's babysitting him.
Yeah, that's true. I found that kind of weird.
So, yeah. No, this is loosely based on George Lucas's Underworld script for the television series he wanted to make, and I feel like we're never really going to get to go into the Underworld until Baby Yoda has perished.
Or he finally finds a place for him.
Question for you here.
Okay.
So this is only a few years after Return of the Jedi.
5
Can't he just
5 years after Return of the Jedi.
learn about Jedi and then be like, hey, Luke's a Jedi. Here you go, Luke. And Luke be like, oh my god, this is like a baby version of my master.
He actually doesn't understand the whole Force thing.
I know, but I think Luke's out there, and I think that's a possibility.
Luke is out there at this point, yeah?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They could totally just be like, here you go. And then Snoke can be like, I want Baby Yoda. Kylo, get him for me. And there's your connection.
Kylo's not
Then you
born
see
yet.
the Emperor just stabbing Baby Yoda and getting these clone materials and then creating himself.
So that's going to connect to the Rise of Skywalker.
I have a feeling in the next, probably in episode
6
7,
or 7. Yeah.
we'll get something.
We'll get some connection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Greetings and welcome to the Disciples of Revan. I'm your host, Lord Guys, and my co-host, Lord Travius.
Hello there. How are you?
Travius,
How are you?
what type of lightsaber do you like to lick?
So there's 3 Jedi sitting on a park bench.
So, Mandalorian, episode 5,
Episode
Gunslinger.
5. Gunslinger, yeah. Yeah, it was an interesting episode.
Starts out pretty cool with a little space battle.
Yeah, it was the first little space battle we've seen, so that's good. They finally got some of that there. I didn't really notice the make of the class or who that was. I guess
It,
another
it was
bounty
like
hunter.
it was like an X-wing that didn't extend its wings.
Oh! I didn't see that. Okay, so maybe it's a Z95 headhunter.
Yeah, very possible.
Yeah, because I've seen lots of headhunters out there.
I thought the dialogue was pretty lame. I mean, he's trying to steal his lines, and they make a joke of that. But like,
That's my line.
if you're gonna kill him, kill him. Hunk up. It took the Mandalorian one shot to wipe you out, and you had how many chances?
Well, obviously some people suck at firing guns.
Yeah, I mean, this guy wasn't even dressed cool.
No, he really wasn't. He looked like a Naboo fighter pilot.
This is Mos Eisley Tower. We are tracking you. Head for Bay 3-5. Over.
Copy that. Locked in for 3-5.
That's the part that excited me the most about this episode was that we saw Tatooine. And I kept saying, he's on Tatooine, he's on Tatooine. But guess what? This time it's on fucking Tatooine!
Yeah, you got confirmation.
Yeah. That was cool. I think that very nostalgic. The sets definitely showed Star Wars. Like, you know, they look right out of episode 4, episode 2, episode everything, right? So that for Tatooine, you know, everything looked very Star Wars nostalgic-like.
Even when we got to see the closer corridors and stuff, I was just like, this is Battlefront 2 Tatooine. It's great.
Yeah, that was really cool. A little disappointed in the cantina. No cantina band, no music, and they've accepted droids apparently.
Yeah.
See, look at that. You can't even have any bigotry in Star Wars anymore. Look at the political correctness. Even droids are welcome. Everyone gets a freaking participation medal now.
Yeah, that's true. Good point.
I'm looking for some work.
Unfortunately, the bounty guild no longer operates from Tatooine.
I'm not looking for guild work.
I am afraid that does not improve your situation.
I think it showed the fact that like after everything has fallen, that there's not as much like commerce there. Like the huts are gone and this and that, and
After Jabba
they even
was
said the
killed,
guild doesn't operate on Tatooine anymore. So
Yeah, I like that droid. That was cool. It was like the 99 droid. There was several of them there, so.
yeah, and then the Mandalorian lands, and he meets Peli Motto.
Is that her name? Peli
Yeah,
Motto?
and
Yeah, I thought honestly, I this is my biggest attraction about this episode was the acting. I didn't really like her. She wasn't convincing as well, whatever, a mechanic even. Like I don't know, she wasn't bad, but I didn't think that was that
I
great.
think you can tell when there's actors and there's comedians, and she is a comedian.
She's a comedian.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, she wasn't horrible by any stretch of the imagination, but it's just
She had a very Ripley-esque look to her. with
She
the
did have a
jumpsuit
Ripley,
and the
yeah. I'm just
hair.
gonna say, yeah, the hair and the very alien-like, yeah.
But
like Alien the movie.
she just became an unconventional babysitter. She had pit droids though.
Yeah, that was cool to harken back to episode 1 there.
Yeah.
I like how they're throwing in all this stuff though. Like they're really combining the entire series into all the Star Wars movies into this series of The Mandalorian. So that is pretty cool.
Yeah, Mando appears not to have as much money as we thought he would.
Yeah, which is funny. Like he has to. I guess that's well. First of all, he went to Tatooine because his ship was damaged in the firefight, and he needed money to fix it. So I guess he had to take a job. But I mean, if he wants to stay off the radar, I mean, I wouldn't go to Tatooine. Tatooine's a haven for bounty hunters, but maybe you're right. Maybe with the huts gone, things have changed there a lot.
Yeah, well, the guild doesn't operate there. I don't know if you knew that. And he gets this guy who I felt sounded a lot like Anakin Skywalker, Toro Calican.
Picked up this bounty puck before I left the mid-rim. Fennec Shand. An assassin? Heard she's been on the run ever since the New Republic put all her employers in lockdown.
I know the name.
I didn't mind him, but I also thought he was a little bit loofy in the acting department as well. But
Well, that's another thing that reminded me
of Hayden Christensen. Hey, he got better by episode 3.
Oh, no, I'm not even going to blame him for episode 2. I mean, Lucas has fully admitted he's not an actor's director.
I thought he was, the character was a little weak, but I mean, I guess, like you say, rich man's, nobleman's son wants to make his name in the guild and stuff like that. So, that's pretty cool.
He clearly had all the money he needed, so.
Yeah.
And he offered him, let's go after this Fennec Shand.
Yeah,
the assassin.
And that was cool. I liked her because she's played. I remember her the most from Stargate Universe short run series there, and she's been in several other things. I think she was in. She's been in Star Trek too, wasn't she?
I don't think so, but she's had a long run in Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. where she's
right.
just the physical kick-ass person. Mm-hmm. Looking her up, she's 56.
No way.
She's a freaking babe.
That's exactly what I wanted you to think. Yes, time!
How sweet were those speeder bikes?
Yeah, it looks like a.
It felt nice to go back to that like floating bike just flying off. It was exactly like episode 2 when you're watching Anakin speed off.
Yeah, the swoops. Yeah, they're really cool, and they they had all the sounds of the swoops, and so like soundtrack wise, this series is doing very well as well. I think.
Yeah, we got to see some Tusken Raiders.
Tusken Raiders.
And we learned that Mandalorian can talk to them.
Yeah.
He knows the sign language.
Which is interesting. So that tells me that he's been to Tatooine before then. He must have. Yeah. Because despite the fact that Jawas are on other planets, I really have never seen a Tusken Raider anywhere else but Tatooine.
Well, they consider themselves the locals of Tatooine.
They do consider themselves locals. So that was really neat, actually.
I think a good book for them is Kenobi. Because you read that in there, like there's this one asshole in the book where they basically absorb him into their tribe, and like he really has no choice, and he becomes a Tusken Raider, and you kind of learn how they operate, and they actually even harken back to like when Anakin attacked them. They all have this horrible memory of it, and the stories, and so when Kenobi is dealing with them, it's really interesting. Slower book, but it was pretty good.
I haven't read that one. I know that though that there was a Jedi Master prior to the Clone Wars that lived with or was a Tusken Raider, and he became a Jedi Master. So, yeah, that was So yeah, it's neat how they've incorporated all that for sure.
Dewback. Looks like the rider's still attached. Is that her? Is that the target?
I don't know. I'll go. You cover me.
I saw that dead person on the dewback. So
Yeah, nice to see
What do you
Dewback.
see here? What do you see? Like, he's like mentoring him. That was kind of neat.
Yeah.
And then
And then he got shot a few times.
again, he keeps getting shot all the time.
Thank God for that Beskar.
Oh yeah, he'd be toast, man. That's like, he's just a tank, is what he is.
Yeah.
Holy crow! But yeah, it's neat how they try to ambush her, and they had those flash grenades.
Did you notice though, like, he got shot off his speeder and his speeder got destroyed or whatever, because the kid, when he shot his flash grenade the second time,
It went
he
on the
shot
ground.
it into the ground.
Yeah, so that's why she could see, right?
Yeah.
He screwed that up. I don't know. That obviously wasn't intentional. He didn't betray him till later on, but yeah.
Yeah, no, you was thinking of him as a partner. He got up that mountain pretty fast and got the drop on her, and for some reason she threw her little knifey thing at his hand rather than at his head.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, no, he got the drop on her. She turned around, pulled her little wrist knifey thing out.
Oh,
threw
right,
it with
right,
the gun,
yeah.
and they had the fight scene.
Maybe she didn't have time, couldn't see in the dark. Who knows, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, they should have done more with her character. And then when she sat there and, kind of started bending his ear and saying, hey, if you turn this guy over to the guild, it's worth more than anything.
You already have something the guild values far more than me. You just don't see it.
What?
The Mandalorian. His armor alone's worth more than my bounty. Then think what it would do for your reputation.
Decides to kill her anyway, so that was kind of disappointing that that worked out that way.
She was a big prize, though. Like, even just getting her would have got him into the guild, and then he could have given the information on Mando. But, like, he got greedy, and yeah.
And murderous, because there was no reason for him to kill her.
And, like, he thought he could best Mando. Like, I'm sorry, kid. Like, I didn't like her dying. I was really hoping when that dude walked up at the end, we'd see more and, like, kick her and be like, oh, I'm still alive. Because I think she's a cool character. Like, we got very little of her.
Oh yeah, what was that all about? Who was that at the end?
I don't know. I think it might turn out to be one of the characters in the next episode. He arrives with his dewback, sees he's dead, doesn't even get off the checker, and then heads back, finds the kid holding the baby hostage, and he shoots him. Little flare, little
flare,
cleverness, and then shoots him. Baby Yoda just thump. I mean, you never shoot a guy with a baby unless you've got someone there to catch them.
I think for some reason he used a latent force power because the baby should have been right there, but it was way the heck over on the other side of a whole bunch of containers. So maybe the baby inadvertently used like force speed. That's what I think.
Oh, well, we keep calling him baby, but he is 50. So
Yeah,
he's
but
had his abilities for a little while, and he's probably learned to use some of them.
yeah.
I mean, he was going to heal him. He lifted the big rhino thing, and then
Red horn, yeah.
yeah, Baby Yoda's got skills.
Baby Yoda does have skills.
But yeah, and then he just flies off, and that was the end of this one.
Yeah, I like overall. I mean, developing his character, it was non-existent, and I mean, this whole Baby Yoda thing, like you're saying, like it's good, but I mean, you said that you feel that this would be a lot darker if that Baby Yoda wasn't there.
If he wasn't like restricted to babysitting.
Yeah, but I don't think he is babysitting. He cares for her. I think what's going to end up happening is that he's going to take the baby. He's going to find a good home for it that's protected. I feel that it's going to be the New Republic or, well, the Resistance doesn't exist yet, so.
Are you hungry? Okay. That's just something to eat. Quick. I don't know. Something with bones in it. Okay. Now here's the plan.
The Tatooine thing was cool, but the acting really kind of, it's like, okay. It just didn't seem, like it seemed like Star Wars, but it didn't seem like everything that, we've been expecting from this series so far.
Like my initial complaint with the second episode was that it was shorter, and I think that's the problem is we're getting cliff notes every time like we're watching it. Here's the high points of the episodes, but where if you watch an hour-long episode, you get the lower points and stuff, and that's where some of the development happens. That's where more details come into the characters.
Well, that's the thing, and that's why I really liked the last episode. This one was, 35 minutes, episode 5? The last one, the fourth one, that was like 43, 44 minutes.
You also got to count the credits, so the credits like 4 or 5 minutes, and then that Disney intro is like another 2-3 minutes when you count the actual, like, this is what happened last week.
8 episodes. It's only going to be, on average, we'll say average is 30, 35 minutes. And then so it's only 4 hours, this entire thing, right? Mm-hmm. So,
Two movies. I think you got to look at it overall as the overall story of like, this was season 1. See, we're doing this episode to episode, but when it's done, we just run through the thing in a day. Mm-hmm. We're just going to be like, that was sweet.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, there's a lot of cool things in this episode, a lot of like nostalgia, but
how about the stormtrooper heads on pikes?
Well, that was cool too. Yeah. That was actually something that from the trailer they kept showing too, the stormtrooper heads on pikes, right?
I'll let you know where everybody's at.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.
We will. Will we? So, let's not forget when it comes out. This week comes out Friday. But the next week, it comes out on the Wednesday.
Yeah.
Episode 7 comes out on the Wednesday, right before the last, the Rise of Skywalker. And I guess, wait a second, so when is
They're going to have a sneak peek, too, for Rise of Skywalker attached to it.
When does the 8th one come out? Because Christmas will be the next week, so is it going to come out on the Friday again? 2 days after Christmas? Oh, something to look forward to after Christmas.
And then we'll see how many people drop off from Disney Plus subscriptions.